Next set is really just, again, stemmed from the discussion from Jim Blais from Ohio. He wanted to see the pins, and because that's part of Pekiti-Mano, I thought I'd show some of the head and neck manipulations. And when you look at that category of the finishers from Pekiti-Mano, they range from strangulations, chokes, neck breaks, and even spine compression. So I'm going to give you a few examples so when you decide to test out of that section of the curriculum, you'll know what some of these entail. If Cass throws the punch, one of the very first things we can do is the running neck break, which is essentially a neck manipulation where I'm taking his head and I'm throwing it violently to his right as I provide a step, a sort of barrier against the shoulder blade so I can get a neck break. If I don't get the neck break, I can slide back in and now start providing some variations of the chokes. In BJJ, you typically see the rear naked choke, but because it's a Filipino art, and I'm assuming that I have a weapon in the other hand, instead of bracing against my bicep like you would see in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you'll see it against the swelling of my occipital bone, and I can actually even apply the strangulation or choke depending on how I catch it. And they'll start tapping. Okay, and that's Cass for you. From there, we can go into neck breaks, and usually for a neck break, I'd like to take away his base. So I'll shove his hips forward as I take his head back, take his base away from him, and I'll control this fall so he doesn't get hurt. And then I will turn the head, and when I'm turning the head, I'm getting the muscles in the neck to kind of stretch prior for me before I get the neck break. And that neck break will be me folding his ear against his chest, using my chest muscles, and I'm using my chest and my ab muscles to fold forward. And he'll tap, hopefully soon. There we go. Then you go back to a standing position. So we have one neck manipulation with that running neck break. We have a strangulation or choke depending on how I catch across his throat. We'll treat this one as a strangulation because I'm cutting off the blood to his neck. Another variation is I take him this way for the Hawaiian headlock, in which case this becomes a choke because I'm going across his windpipe, and he'll tap soon. And I'm using the shearing motion between my forearms. The last one I'll show for today, even though there's more, is the spine manipulation, and really it's compression, where I'm tilting the head back, and I want to make him the leaning tower of Kaz here, where I want to get his head past his hips. And instead of throwing his head back, if I start doing that, he might take a step backwards to compensate for that range. Instead, once I compromise his structure, I will aim his head towards his heels. That'll get some extra flexing in his lower spinal erectors to get a manipulation. I'm really trying to throw it down towards his heels, messing with his spine. So if you're testing, those are some things you can look at when you do the finishers for Pekiti-Tirsia.